guys, Sullivan Owen here in Philadelphia. So if you watched my previous design video where I made an arrangement with dyed flowers, I talked a little bit about how you can really experiment with color palettes and color echoing within a design, and the dyed and tinted flowers really afford you the chance to work with some flowers and colors that just don't naturally occur. I thought that I would spend some time with the floral flat lay materials and kind of show you how I this is what I do visually when I'm shopping, but how you can kind of play with color palettes to make sure that things are gonna look good in the container once you start designing, or hopefully before you buy all the flowers. So let's do this. Arriving in the flower market, that was the carnation that I saw. There were really no other tinted carnations out at this time. I was able to go into the storage cooler and unpack the boxes with Chris at Dutch Flower Line to look for other colors, but I saw this one and I thought it was really cool. So starting with this carnation, I then started looking around the shop for additional materials that I thought would complement this. And if you've been watching the October videos, I was going through kind of an orangey, golden, saffron, fall color story. And I thought that that's where I was heading. So then I spotted in a bucket off to the side this kind of cool clematis seed head. It's clematis vine that's gone to seed. And I thought, okay, that's kind of cool. What else can I do with that? And then they had a ton of this plumosa foliage, and I really gravitated towards the other colors were kind of dull and Halloween, and I wasn't really feeling like they were I knew that this video would be out after Halloween, so I didn't want to make anything that felt too spooky or as spoopy, I guess, as going around. So I ended up choosing this kind of eucalyptus sage green in the tinted plumosas, and thought that it kind of enhanced the rusty mauve tones. Making sure that didn't go anywhere. So I liked this, and it was a big, generous bunch, and it looked pretty cool. So I continued kind of walking around, and there were a couple different types of berries available, and my initial reaction was to grab this purplish burgundy to blue purple viburnum berry. Following that, I sort of wandered around. I was really there to buy orange and blue flowers for a party that I had, and decided just to buy this stuff so that I could make some videos with it. And found the burgundy peony, which I only have this photo to kind of show you what could have been, but alas, they didn't make it. So once I had introduced the burgundy peony though, which I guess we can kind of use that as a placeholder, it's still really bright red. Everything started to feel a little more red. So there were two colors of hydrangea, one that had more of this like aqua blue undertone, and this red burgundy that I ended up choosing. Then things got crazy. You shop for flowers early in the morning. I decided that because the foliage was so big, I wanted to make something really big and wild and interesting. So I needed more stuff. So then I grabbed this green thistle. Then I was like, well, there wasn't a lot of this viburnum berry. Let me get some of the blueberry. Then Chris found me this astrantia, which was so beautiful. So then that ended up on the shelf. Then I threw in these dyed tulips. I grabbed a bunch of the Lysianthus because why not? That was only a 10-cent bunch, so it felt like, okay, it's not so bad. And then I was in the back with Chris because he said he was unpacking a box of the dyed carnations from Holland. And I wanted to look through and see if I could find anything else. And I ended up picking the pastel blue tint. And was really happy with that. That's kind of the picture I took on the shelf. And then, as I mentioned, I got home and put everything in water, and I had to work on my party design, so I didn't get to film right away. And the peonies the petals all dropped off. So then that caused me to be delayed another day. I ordered in the 2 colors of red peony. Those didn't work. But I had been working with... So the first thing that I had originally been going for was a true like burgundy and aqua. And I mentioned in the previous video that my darker burgundy peony didn't make it through the night when I got it. So the petals all fell off, which usually means that the grower stored it for too long, and that's why. So I ordered a different one, and you can see it's not that this burgundy looks bad. This is, I'll put the name up on the screen, but this red, however, which is a little more magenta, just is really too bright red. I mean, on the monitor they look completely insane, but maybe after post and some color correcting. So I know those don't work, but this burgundy probably could have worked. It looks really bright on the monitor. Those didn't work, but I had been working with these beautiful mums for a wedding at the end of October and was so happy that they just kind of picked up on the warmth of this carnation, but also sort of enhanced the kind of red to brown tones. And that is how I arrived at the color story. So this is very hard stuff to teach. And it's why you see so many how-to floral videos that tell you just like what to get and what to buy. But if you watched any of my videos before, I'm not really into that. I think that the way that you get good at flowers is to practice. And I also think it's about finding your own take on materials. Instagram, YouTube, magazines, if that's where you're getting your inspiration from, you're just going to be duplicating what everybody else has done. I really try to just I take my inspiration mostly from high fashion, from pop culture, and I really enjoy just kind of like looking at the materials and choosing the stuff that speaks to me. And I can't say that I love this spray painted plumosas. This is actually only the second time I've bought it. And I really think that you can make it work if you're selective about how you use it. I think too much dyed product, everything spray painted, you lose, it could be anything then. It doesn't have to be flowers. You could use dried materials, you could do fake flowers, you could do so many things if you're just gonna use all tinted product. But if you can use it in a way that sort of takes some pretty commonplace, these chrysanthemums are like a super affordable fall flower, that you can take them and you take something like the carnation that's sort of turned on its head by the addition of the color, then you can make it feel new and interesting and cool. But if you're just kind of like buying everything painted, buying everything dyed, spray painting everything, throwing it up in a ceiling and like, you know, but my opinion is that it should still feel like flowers. You should be arranging it in the same way that you would any other material. At least that's how I kind of deal with it. That ended up being like a little bit of a tangent that I'm definitely gonna edit out. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed kind of seeing me just sort of talk through my process in terms of building a color palette. And if you want to see the design that this palette made, I will put the link up here for you. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Please like this video by giving it a thumbs up. Share it with a flower-loving friend. Come find me on Instagram at Sullivan_Owen, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.